You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. Of late there has been a rumor going round on social media that R. Kelly is telling on Diddy, making accusation against him in a sort of exchange for his freedom. It's disturbing to see that only a month after the lies which stated that R. Kelly was selling out concerts in prison, and after even more lies in the past months that suggested he was telling on other artists such as Jay-Z among others, we now have yet another similar trending hoax making even more rounds on social media and trending like a forest fire that alleges he is now telling on Diddy. This is not right, and something ought to be done to stop such rumors that are only intended to distract the masses from identifying the flaws government registered while attempting to take down R. Kelly, and instead have their focus diverted to listening to such BS in the name of updates only crafted by the haters. It's definitely haters publishing this false information because if someone watched this and was convinced it's true, they will walk away thinking R. Kelly already surrendered to the enemy and confessed to crimes he clearly did not commit, and that he is now seeking cheaper ways of walking out of prison. Well, this is not true. R. Kelly is not looking for a shortcut out of prison. He will be walking out soon and he will be doing it the gentleman's way. And by the gentleman's way we mean through the front door with no shortcuts. Why would he even need to tell on anybody yet his case is so much in his favor already? Apart from wanting to make news, even those publishing this information know well that R. Kelly is already set to win his appeal, and that he only lost to the government in New York and on 6 out of 13 counts in Chicago because of the overwhelming prejudice he was subjected to. The New York appeal is the most appropriate opportunity R. Kelly intends to make use of to convince the judges of his innocence, and to also show the facts of how the government left no law unbroken, and none of his basic rights unabused in their ploy to make sure they got him behind bars, hoping to maintain the status quo for this rest of his life. Yes, we understand that many artists who have been quiet while R. Kelly looks into the eyes of American prejudice do have dark background themselves. Yes, we have many images of the likes of Jay-Z and Diddy online romanticizing with much younger women, and yes, just like anybody else, they may not have a history free of mistakes. In fact, it's been a trending topic how Jay-Z, who unlike R. Kelly is not being muted, started out with an underage Beyoncé himself, and how he seems to have even more pictures with the late Aaliyah, may her soul rest in peace, than there is with R. Kelly. The same has been said about Demon Dash and Diddy on many occasions, yet Kelly remains the only one held in prison to pay for allegedly marrying the same woman, with a fake marriage certificate as though to say there was a marriage at all, yet the certificate was invalid. It's a shame to see that the government has to be reminded by masses about the possible crimes committed by these artists by adding R. Kelly's name to the mix, and still they continue to ignore these other artists and instead focus on R. Kelly, who is clearly innocent. This goes to show that the interest of government and their Department of Justice counterparts was never to protect anybody, but to have R. Kelly locked up in prison for the rest of his life. And once this is the target, it creates a perfect environment for prejudice to step in. But again, when addressing issues to do with the misconduct of the likes of Diddy, Jay-Z and anybody else, it's only honorable to address these as separate matters and not attempt to associate them with R. Kelly's case with allegations of snitching and telling. R. Kelly is not a part of this. Real men like him fight their battles themselves, and they do not run away from situations however complicated they may seem. They play fair not only for themselves but for others too. If the next artists on agenda to be Me Too'd and muted include P. Diddy, Jay-Z or Snoop Dogg, that is entirely for self-proclaimed activist Tarana Burke of the Me Too Foundation, and it ain't in any way R. Kelly's business. R. Kelly, being a very quiet person and having chosen to remain hush and watch while the government persecutes him, is something the liars feel they can take advantage of, to attempt to make the world believe the only way he is choosing to break the silence is by snitching on other artists. It's no wonder that many people who do not understand the meaning of the complication dyslexia think he is probably dumb. Whoever is misrepresenting the R&B King ought to know that R. Kelly is not illiterate, and only suffers dyslexia, which is more of a nervous complex that only makes him look at written words differently from others, or in simple terms sees a mirror image of what normal readers will see. It is not in any way a measure of intelligence, and besides, This man has made millions writing intelligently composed songs. It is sad that even in the current situation where no one is able to identify which crime R. Kelly committed with evidence, many are still hell-bent to believing he still has to be guilty of something somehow, and this shows just how deep the effects of prejudice can go. Remember, the government prejudiced him in the open, allowing the world to think he must be guilty. The good news though is that one of these days the narrative is changing, especially after it was determined that the Clarys were all along lying. According to Austin, if the R. Kelly snitching on P. Diddy and Jay-Z event were to be true, it wouldn't have to come up in the media each month as a fresh topic being discussed by typically the same people. It looks like a new way of pulling traffic to channels rather than update the masses on what is happening with the case. If it's not P. Diddy, it's Jay-Z. If it's not Jay-Z, it's Ron Isley. It's a shame that such information even finds ground to move and generate as many views when real objective and meaningful information hardly gains any traction. We recently published a video which proves Sony was aware the mute R. Kelly activists were coming to their headquarters and gave them a warm welcome at the Sony Square, and no one is watching. But when it's R. Kelly snitching, which ain't true, suddenly everyone wants to know. According to Deborah, I am sick and tired of individuals who will misrepresent R. Kelly with the aim of simply driving traffic to their channels. How different are these from Tasha K, who went as far as tampering with defense witness Azriel in exchange for views, and caused R. Kelly to be lied on, only to realize later and confess she now thinks R. Kelly was innocent when it's too little too late and the damage was already done. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.